A warm welcome to Vision this week on Channels Television. I'm Bukola Joe Ketumbi. As the end-of-year festivities draw closer, making your travel plan as easy and as comfortable as possible is important, and there are professionals who can help you scale that hurdle. They save you time as well as give you all the necessary information on everything you will need for your trip. Sometimes you might not know much about the place you wish to visit. The travel agency gives you information on those places and provide useful advice. Our focus is travel agents and what they do. Plus, Muritala Mohammed Airport 2 raises awareness on airside safety. Let's get started.
Passengers presenting their tickets at the counter in preparation for boarding. Many of those here most probably bought their tickets from travel agencies. A travel agency is a private retailer or public service that provides travel and tourism-related services to the public on behalf of suppliers such as airlines, car rentals, cruise lines, hotels, railways, and package tours.
Travel agents, in my own perspective, are bigger than airlines because every traveler needs a travel agent. Why? If you go to a particular airline, you want to buy their ticket, they can only sell their tickets. They cannot sell other tickets. But a travel agent, a professional travel agent, because we have a lot of mediocres out there, but people who are professional travel agents, IATA licensed, they sell over 30 airlines in one spot.
There are also travel agencies that serve as general sales agents for foreign travel companies.
NCCA is general service agent, and that is somebody who is representing an international airline that is not based in Nigeria locally. So they sell their tickets, they employ staff, they do everything. If you have any recourse to the airline, you will go and meet the GSA.
When somebody comes to you, he wants to make a trip. Our duty is to best advise. You listen to the person, ask one or two questions, and you now best advise the person how he should go about the entire trip. It's not just about issuing tickets alone. It's about the entire trip, to make the entire trip a worthwhile, a memorable one for the passenger.
The Nigerian Civil Aviation Regulations 2015 prohibits the undertaking of the business of travel agency by any person in Nigeria without a certificate of registration or license issued by the NCCA, and upon the fulfillment of certain requirements, including that an applicant submits evidence of membership of the National Association of Nigeria Travel Agents.
It's a tough situation, but for me, I'm a member of a national association, which is called NANTA. The only way the government can come into all of this is for us to have the regulatory body, which is the NANTA, support us properly well. Now, right now, we have the ID card thing that is ongoing now. With that, it can regulate that. Then also, the government also has to put a lot of good brand support, good infrastructure, as in probably help us spread the word.
It's taking the bull by the horn, and then let's start from somewhere. They say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step. And in our bid of trying to sanitize the industry from our own perspective, and of course calling out on the government agency, NCCA, who is our regulator, to back us up. Then the next stage, after we've gotten all the support that we want, the government support through NCCA and everything, the next stage is now like, okay, let's start screening. There'll be background checks. Yeah, background checks on all our members. Even if you're a member today, a background check will be done on you. We want to be sure those that we call our members. You're a member today doesn't mean we cannot dismember you tomorrow. Once we find out that you are involved in some fraudulent act and everything, you will be called to answer, with NCCA and everything.
As prospective passengers embark on trips, the NCCA is asking Nigerians to do business only with travel agencies registered with the regulatory authority.
On our interview segment, our guest is the president of the Association of Air Travel Agencies in Nigeria, called NANTA. He tells us more about their role in the aviation chain.
Some people just assume that selling tickets is just book, then issue the ticket, and that is it. It goes beyond that. We're actually consultants. We have aviation school where people actually go to learn about this trade. It requires, a bit of knowledge, understanding that it's not just for you to book Lagos, London, Lagos. It goes beyond that. There are certain things you need to know. Is this particular passenger embarking on a holiday or a business trip, or a leisure trip? You must be able to understand what this trip is all about. That's one of the things that we do. So we render advisory services. For instance, somebody is going for a straight a business trip that requires a straight journey, for instance, to the UK. You're not going to be advising such clients to go through a longer route. What does he want to discover? Is a straight business trip. You should be able to advise the client and advise on the best course. There are varieties of products that we do. Air ticket just happens to be one of the products in our pool of in our basket. For instance, we assist some of our corporate clients in getting SEPA card for some of their foreign workers. We assist in meet and greet. We assist in protocol services, which is assisting the clients to transport them from the airport to their respective hotel. We assist in their hotel booking. We assist in tourists within the destination where they're going to. Maybe somebody has just come to Lagos and he needs to discover what Lagos lifestyle is. We assist in all these areas. These are things that are expected of a travel agent. Things have really changed from what it used to be. We started off with a paper ticket. Then we moved into e-ticket. Now, when we were doing paper ticket, we were probably even booking it on SITA, where we have several platforms where we book tickets. Then the GDS, which are the global distribution system, they've been able to bring everything under one system. So you could book all your tickets, your train, your hotel and we keep seeing different ways of doing things. And IATA too has really improved on the way things are done now. We've tried as much as possible to checkmate the activities of these fraudsters by introducing measures that will make it not possible for them to defraud intending passengers. We have come into a partnership with the regulator, which is NCCA, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, where we set up a committee that came up with the idea of the ID card. Now, the ID card is to separate the real NANTA members from other fake or unscrupulous elements that consider or call themselves travel agents. So what we do basically is that with the card, if you are not a member, you can't forge the card because it's actually tied to your BVN. So if any passenger that wants to buy a ticket, if you're not buying it from the platform of the airline, then you might as well deal with any of the NANTA accredited agents. We've got over 6,000 accredited travel agencies in Nigeria who are members of NANTA. And basically what do? They go out to preach the good service of getting passengers on the flights for the airlines.
The aviation industry is an important contributor to economic development. It has not only increased world trade activity by enabling faster and easier movement of passengers and goods, but has also provided jobs for millions of people. The Aircraft Rescue and Firefighting (ARFF) is a special category of firefighting that involves the response, hazard mitigation, evacuation, and possible rescue of passengers and crew of an aircraft involved in a typical airport ground emergency.
The airport is categorized into Cat 9, and by Cat 9 there are certain requirements that is involved. We are supposed to have by standard 3 major vehicles, but I can bet you right now we have about 6 major vehicles. We have about 4 stations here. In my substation I have another vehicle there, and each of these vehicles carry different capacities of water as required. By standard, the requirement for water is 23,400 liters, but I can bet you each of the vehicle. One vehicle is carrying 11,000 liters, another one 12,500 liters. By the time you multiply, what we have on wheel right now is about 60,000 liters.
The principles of safety and security, including fire coverage or protection, is critical at any airport. Fire coverage is classified from 1 to 10, and response to fire requires speed. For any emergency, the vehicle carries out a pump and roll action. Airport fire incidents can occur at any time, but past incidents include the VIP lounge fire at the Sam Mbakwe Airport in Imo State early this year, and the severe damage to a turboprop aircraft belonging to Overland Airways while undergoing servicing at the airline hangar in Lagos in 2018. Ensuring that aircraft, passengers and the terminal are safe also rests on continuous training of firemen. Then to the firefighting watchroom, where aircraft operations of landing and takeoff is monitored. The office also serves as a communication hub for fire officers that aids the delivery of services.
Whenever an emergency information is received from the watchroom attendants, the first thing they do is to activate the fire alarm bell. This sends signals to the men at the bay that there is an emergency, and then that is followed by the public address system. The emergency information is relayed through the public address system, stating the location, the type of emergency. All the information will be given to the crew, and then the next thing, the crew proceeds to the location of the incident.
In here, equipment lines the space to aid the work of firemen.
This is called the 118.1 frequency. It's a monitoring frequency. So we use it to monitor information between the pilot and the control tower. Whenever an aircraft is within 10 nautical miles of the station, we can monitor the information. So in case there's any incoming or outgoing outbound aircraft that has an emergency, the watchroom attendant quickly picks it, alerts the men, and then the emergency procedure will be activated.
The mass casualty potential of an aviation emergency is high, so the speed with which emergency response equipment and personnel arrive at the scene of an emergency is of great importance. Their arrival and initial mission to secure the aircraft against all hazards, particularly fire, increases the rate of survival of both passengers and crew on board.